everybody. It's been a short few moons since I've actually done this. Um, I don't know. We'll just see who comes around or whatever. Wasn't planning to do this, but let's see. I'm gonna go over to my spot. I don't know why it's not showing. No idea. No idea. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I thought it would be showing on YouTube already, but I don't see it. I know I'm talking to myself because there's nobody else there. Oh, there it is. It took a minute or two for it to do anything. That's kind of stupid. Anyways, just been kind of lately sitting with my thoughts, deciding things I want to do, where I want to go, just to move forward. Now, I did leave a little short talking about the big question, and it's a big one, to be reasonable with you, is that if you lost everything, what would you do? What's up, Nubsy? And I mean that literally. Like, I mean, if you seriously lost everything, what would you do? Where would you start over? At what point? What exactly would you do? Because, for me, it's I'm there. I've done it. I see side chat isn't overlay isn't showing properly there, so it's delayed. I'm seeing a huge delay between what I'm doing live versus what's coming up on YouTube. So that kind of sucks. Yeah. I've had to hit starting over complete from scratch more than once. Not because I wanted to. My own fault, really, but there's nobody else to blame for it. I'm not looking for pity or sympathy for it. Maybe sharing my my experiences, I'll say, and what I have done, where I've been, what I've gone through. Maybe it'll help somebody. At the same time, I want to get this channel back up and going again. And right now, I'm not sure where to begin with it. Again. My mind is not the same anymore. The last year, it's been a good year now since I lost everything. I pretty much lost everything. I had to start from scratch. And it's not a good feeling, that's for sure. I never thought I'd have to go and do what I have in order to try to get forward. And then I get a taste of reality and start moving forward and then have to drop back again. And now I'm starting to move forward, but I'm doing this on my own. Didn't really have anybody's help. Maybe I did a little bit, but wasn't, I don't know. Nubs, for me, myself, that's one place I wouldn't want to live if I had to live in the States. I don't know why, but just for me, that's just not the place to go. But, hopefully everything works better for you, okay? Don't get me wrong on what I'm saying. That's the biggest thing. And I've kind of looked at that as things I've said that people have taken the wrong way. And then I've taken that completely to heart as well. There's so much I could say, so much where to go, where to start talking from. And I just want to, even though I am kind of right now, I don't want to be jumping all over the place. I just came on here just to see who was around, who was going to pop up. Because, hey, I haven't done anything really on this channel for a while. And then what I did do was only little things because of where I was in the midst of trying to start over, trying to start something to move forward, hitting my rock bottom, scraping the bottom of the barrel, if you want to say it, but it doesn't matter which, quote you want to use for that expression, for that feeling to be that low, being so low that, and it's probably where you're feeling too in the last while, or even maybe longer, Nubs, feeling worthless, that you have no worth, that nobody values you anymore. And a lot of that, it comes from stupidity of others, regardless of what it is, whether they're trolls here on YouTube, whether they're people in your real life, being bullies in whatever form, whether they're friends, family, or coworkers, or just people you happen to meet in the area in which you happen to be in. But it's just nuts, man. It's just nuts. I've really broken down. And I'll say this openly that for a while, I was completely depressed. I was depressed. I was taking antidepressant pills for a while. That's where I went. And then on top of that, I was hit with missing everything that I used to do with my son. May he rest in peace. But still. And then being denied last Christmas to not even get to see my daughter, even though I was in a place where it was safe and everything. I wasn't allowed to. I was denied it. And that really hit me hard with the depression, with me feeling worthless. And that really got a lot of things, rolling in the wrong direction. I didn't want to feel and admit really that I was depressed. I just figured I was going through a bad case of grieving. Again, even though I have grieved before for my son. And, all that put together took me down. As it is hard to say it now, it was hard to admit that when I hit that bottom, the real bottom, not the one I thought I'd hit before, but the real bottom, I felt alone. I felt helpless. I don't know. It just was what it was. I can't say anything different about it. But I'm not going to linger on this. Because if I start lingering about it, I kind of start to, self-pity, self-sadness, and whatever else for myself. Now, I did come on a couple weeks ago on my other channel, Devilish Intentions. That's my gaming channel. And I got myself a good tax return this year, so I bought myself a PlayStation 5. So I got a PS5, and then I did what I said I wasn't ever going to do, and I bought a 2K game 2K25 of WWE wrestling, even though I don't really watch WWE anymore. I wanted it because I just wanted to do something because it's the only wrestling game right now where you can do the most creativity in. The others that are out, there's not much you can do. The AEW, when I got it, it's like when I started playing, I started trying to do creating things, and it's like it just you couldn't do the creating like you can with the 2K. But then Ukes, who was part of them and then became, for AEW, and a couple others that had left being with 2K, they changed some things around. They made it a little bit more reasonable. But it still didn't have that grab. And then the one game that I've been, for wrestling that I've been following for so long that I was hoping that it would have been out by now, hasn't had any new updates for almost 2 years. And that sucks. I I can't believe that, but it's, but I haven't really gotten into it to start creating. I did a few characters. I got to do more, but my creativity isn't there. My urge to want to do things isn't there right now. I haven't gotten really much into New Japan a lot. I've only followed certain people when they go there. Like for instance, Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, for AEW right now. He was in New Japan for a while and then came back because he had to. Eagles. I tell you what, when the Canadian geese come along, the eagles will tuck their tails between their legs and run like little chihuahuas. Okay. And that's a true story, by the way, what I just said there. American bald eagles are afraid of the Canadian geese because Canadian geese will beat the shit out of them. They're not afraid of anything. And you don't fuck with them. But besides that, see, I can pull out and start laughing and be funny just out of anywhere with certain things. It's tidbits of me that pop out here and there, and it's like, and I realize that, and it's like I go, oh, okay, there's still me there, but I know I've changed. In what way? I don't know. My tolerance, who knows? I know that certain things that I see with certain people in amongst my life that I'm about in my daily activities, that they annoy the fuck out of me now. And I know it's not because of age. Because I'm older. Ooh, whoopie doodah. So when I'm older, I'll be, turning another tick of the calendar year coming up in a week or two. But that's neither here nor there, too. I've been doing so many things, but lately, one thing that I have been doing, and I'm not going to talk a lot about, I'm going to touch on a little bit, is AI chat. AI chat. I've been getting into these AI chat stories where it's a story, and based on what you say, what you do, the AI will take you in whatever tangent that it does, and it's been really interesting. I've been last night I stayed up until what? And just as you know, I get up about 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. every day. That's Eastern Standard Time here, or Eastern Time Zone for me. So I get up, like I said, about 3:34 in the morning. And then by say 5 or 5:30, the latest, I'm already out the door to catch my first bus. I have to take 2 buses to get to work. So I was up at 4 yesterday, Friday morning, 4 a.m. I didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. this morning, Saturday morning. So I was up for 24 hours. But when I got home after I finished eating and everything else, I dove into the story of this AI character, and I just went nuts. And I've played different scenarios. Like, you can reset your chat that you're having with this AI character. So if you start off and you kind of like, okay, this is kind of boring, or no, this is not how I want this thing to go. I should have said this instead. So you reset it and start over again and go through your scenarios, and you can go, like I said, multiple tangents, different dimensions, whatever. They have everything from just a basic chat with a character, that you talk, do whatever, hang out, kind of like friends. Um, you can get into Dungeons and Dragons with these AI characters, even because they even have them. You've got gameplay characters, comic characters, celebrities, Furbies, whatever, or furries, I should say. Um, you can even get sexual if you really want with some of these, depending on how they're set up. And sometimes these ones that are set up, some of these characters, they get into a lot of details. Others, not so much. It's just depending what you put into it. But basically, let's say by the time I finished eating and everything else, when I was settling down just to do this, let's say it was 6 p.m. I stayed up from 6 p.m. till 4 a.m. this morning just doing that with AI chat character. Right now, Nubs, if I had the money and I actually had my 4K HD camera that I had bought, and I know I lost it, because when I finally had to move the place where I used to be at a couple of years ago, that I put everything into storage, and somebody broke in and stole things in my store. They stole my PS4. They stole a laptop. They stole some other things that were there. I do believe they also got my daughter's Chromebook, because I don't see it anywhere unless it's in a box that I didn't really pay attention 100% to. Surprisingly, they didn't take the small 20-inch LED TV that I had. Mind you, it's an RCA. It's only worth $100, but still, you figure they would have taken that. There was even a larger flat screen TV that I had in there. They didn't even touch that either. They left it there. They cut my lock off. Then they found a lock in my toolbox, and they put that on. And I thought, oh, that was their lock, but they still had the key to it. So they came back and forth as many times as they wanted to for that. And the storage center never really checked the locks again after I put my lock on the first time, because they would put a sticker on it. But what they should have done is they should have been every week going in and checking the locks for all the storage units to make sure that the locks haven't been tampered with, that they're the same locks, or the sticker is there from the previous, and put a new sticker on with a different color or something, something different. But no. I still don't know fully what I've lost from that break-in to the storage locker. Boxes are ripped, torn, things were thrown here and there. I'm surprised they didn't take, well, the one leather jacket that I have, that I know what I paid for, but it's a $400 value of a leather jacket, even though I got that jacket back in 1993, I'm going to say. So it's old, but it's still, it's not worn out. It looks still brand new almost. Well, not brand new. It's broken in. Brand new, it kind of looks like plastic in a way at first. But what I was going to say, and I got off on a tangent there. Sorry, Nubs. Talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Still right now where I am, where the big mall is, here in the city that I live in, there is a place that used to be Palladium Game Place. Then they shut down. They were going to renovate, COVID hit, they never bothered to renovate. They just shut it completely down. After COVID has been sitting for several years, and I think only the last 2 years, it became, Goyo, get your game on. Uh, and they have right now a Dungeons and Dragons theme event. I don't know if it's um, like an escape room type idea or if it's a full dungeon maze that you got to go through. I've seen some pictures, a few little short videos from people. I haven't seen anything else because I think they don't allow you to do any film footage as you walk through. I think that if you did get to, that you'd probably have to pay a hefty price to do it. I've been wanting to kind of do it before it finally disappears, and I don't know when the end date is offhand. I have to research that and see. Seem like now where I'm living, I'm closer to the lake. Uh, Lake's only about a 15-minute, 20-minute walk max away from where I'm living. But to get there is kind of, you got to go a little bit out of your way type idea for that to be 20-minute walk. It's not like a straight walk down. I have to walk out and around. And there's train tracks just south of me. So I hear the basic commuter train as it comes by on the hour or the 40 minutes, whatever it is. I hear the quick via train, kind of like your Amtrak's in the States, the faster one. So, yeah, so I hear that, but I'm used to it because I mean, when I was a teenager, going to high school for a couple of years, we used to live right beside a really busy section of the train tracks. So we used to hear the freight trains, the commuter go train as well. And I have a video on here on this channel. I don't think it's private. That is still up, that I showed you guys the go train and my trip to go get my daughter the one day. Sorry, it feels like my throat is dry, so I had to grab a drink there. I don't know, and it sounds like that, or that my voice is dry or hoarse, or like I got a nasal congestion in a way, but I don't have anything that's going on. So, and then I've shown that. So you saw that's the area, but the area is like very unique here. I used to ride down a couple of times through the summers through high school with my friends. We get all on our bicycles and we would go riding, around for, during the summer, a couple of days, we just like go for a ride. Would be out all day and we wouldn't be back until like after the lights came on. But we never got in shit because we were older. It was just, oh, come home safe. That was basically it for back then. If I was out past midnight as a teen, yeah, of course I heard about it when I got home or the next day. Yeah, but in reality, as long as I wasn't in trouble, I didn't cause trouble, and I came home safe, all in one piece, that's all that mattered. You know, putting things away and then taking stuff out of storage and bringing it back because I didn't label it. I had to leave. Um, and the week that was leading up to the day when I had to leave the old place that I used to live at, I didn't label anything. So now it's like, as I get things, I'm looking at it going, okay, what's this? Like, I've got a bunch of big black garbage bags I have clothes in, and I still have to go through. When I haven't since I moved in here. I've been here for a month already. Um, to see what I got, what I need. And then the stuff that I don't need, I think I'm going to donate to the diabetes foundation here. Um, so donate clothes to diabetes for the people that they have that need stuff. Maybe I'll do it that way instead of the other guys. Because I was thinking about Salvation Army, Red Cross, and Goodwill. But as those three have been known back in the late 90s, I think it was, when the stories came out on pretty much everywhere. The most of the donations that they got were going in the pockets and to the homes of the employees. That they weren't put out in the stores to make money. They weren't given to the people who actually needed it. And for the clothing that was put in their donation stores to sell off as thrift items, that most of that money that was brought in from that wasn't going to the needy. The executives and everybody else were lining their pockets. So that's why I really don't want to give to them. Just like when I see certain charities that are out and about and they want me to donate to Sick Kids Foundation, Sick Kids of Toronto Hospital, basically. I don't. I go directly and I give it to the cancer ward because I know the people who to talk to there. And me and two of my friends, we combine money efforts together as the three of us as a donation for a minimum of $5,000 each year to Sick Kids Cancer Ward in that hospital. Hello there, face. So it is what it is for that. Now, I know in this neighborhood where I am, there's going to be a few things for investigating, for exploring. I just don't know where they are in this area. So I have to get out and venture. I have to do my research. Um, go from there. Now, if I happen to stumble and find where my camera is and that it didn't get stolen, like I said, then I can use that and do whatever. And we'll record it. If not, then either I'll use my cell phone if it will allow me, because I've been noticing that battery drains quicker now, maybe because it's too old. I don't even remember how long I've had this phone for. Maybe I've had it for 5 years. I don't know. It's an Android. And to be honest, in the beginning it was great, but as time went on, this Android phone has been nothing but a pain in the ass. I'll say it's been more pain in the ass than any Apple cell phone I've owned. So my thoughts moving forward for that, I might go back to Apple again. But I do have myself an iPad. My old tablet, I can't even get into it anymore. I don't even know what the damn password is when you turn the power on. It's locked by a password, and I can't even remember what it is. So if I do a factory reset, it's going to erase everything that's on there, which will suck. Now, I think on this iPad, I think I put paranormal apps that I wanted back on it. I may go and get one other one that that I feel that works. So these are things that I've been thinking of trying to get back into. It's just I got to kick myself in my own ass to give myself the push to jump forward on it. So, go from there. Not sure anything else, so I've been doing this. Maybe tomorrow I'll pop on my other channel and I'll pull up and do a little bit of let a match go for wrestling, or maybe I might find another game and do that. But no, we'll touch on this again. The question that I left as a shorts here that I did: what would you do if you lost everything? That you had to start completely over from scratch today. Where would you start first? Maybe I'll, make up a series of videos in that, step by step, certain things for my journey. I know everybody's journey for it will be different. Where they start from would be different because everybody thinks slightly different on what they prioritize as what's first. Where do you start? What do you start with? And how you go from there. What's your next step, etc., etc. Then we'll see from there. I know I haven't been around. I pop around here and there. Sometimes you see me put up the eyeballs just to say that, oh, I'm looking, but I don't say anything else. And then sometimes I'm gone very quickly afterwards. It's not anything wrong. I'm not, saying anything. If I pop in your chat and I do that, I'm just saying, hey. So does it mean that I'm supporting you? Yeah, I support you because I came there and I hit the thumbs up regardless when I pop in. That's just me. So I expect, the same courtesy when you guys come here, I hope. I notice that several people come and they watch, they don't do anything. So be it. But I don't really now more than so. I'm not going to worry about numbers. I'm just going to do my thing. That's it. People like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. And if they don't, and they just want to criticize and keep talking about me, hey, that's free publicity from me. That's the way I'm looking at it now. You go ahead and say what you want behind my back because it just says how stupid and childish you really are. So, let it be that. And I just, I'm done with all, and I've seen it over the last several months from the time to time when I have had internet. I've gone to people's channels and I've not even bothered to put up my eyeballs to say, hey, because I see the people that are there and I see the same drama still happening, just with different people slightly, or the same people, just reworded differently about a different issue, but they're still causing the same drama. So I don't bother. I'm not going to. And I simply say it straight up like this: if you are my friend and you support what I'm saying, yet though you go to these people's places that are causing problems and drama, and you turn around and say, oh, I'm just keeping a close eye on them, you know what? You're full of fucking shit. That's what I got to say to that. But enough with that. I'm not going to go off on a tangent because then I'll just get all riled up and I'll go off, and I know I'll start saying things that I shouldn't and cause my own problems, my own drama that I just don't need. And the biggest thing is, you ever notice, though, that sometimes when I do go on a rant about people, I never drop their names unless they absolutely deserve it. So that's just, me and a pea pod. I think that I'll probably get off here. I can probably dive back into my AI chat story with the characters that I have with the app that I'm using on my iPad. And I don't know. See what time I stay up to tonight. At least I can sleep in tomorrow. I don't have to get up for work, and then I can go to bed early Sunday enough that I'll get hopefully my rest back, or at least be somewhat reasonable come Monday morning. Last weekend I was up too late on the Sunday, and when I got up and went to work, it's like, oh my God, my eyes were so burny, so tired. But that's just another story to tell for another time. And before I get off here, one other thought is that I plan to. I just got to get going on the research and then putting things together. But then I have to also relook for new video programs and editing because I lost everything from my other laptop because it's gone. So remembering the account names and everything, it's like I'm going, oh crap. Because I had everything kind of saved on that laptop a certain way that I could pull things up and find out what I needed. So yeah, I'll probably get back into the dark side and nursery rhymes again at some point. I just have to go through this channel and see the videos that I have, where what I've done, and then probably go from there. Where we're supposed to continue from and what was next, I don't know. I just have to look at what I've done and what ones are missing that actually have true dark history to them. To show you the dark side of that nursery rhyme. Well, I guess that will be it, and I think I'll actually get off of here. Yeah, I've been rambling on. For those of you who came in, thank you very much. Those who are watching on rewatch, or replay, I should say, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, because who knows what the hell I'm going to bring on here in the future, and you might just miss it. And anything else, just leave a comment down in the comments box. And as I say, if it's stupidity, I'll just delete it. I'm just not going to reply to it. I know some people have said, hey, hello, here, there, to a few things I've done in the last couple of weeks. Thank you, regardless of who you are. And hopefully